The AFK farming software, I became invincible without knowing it. Chapter 281, Refining the Spacetime Treasure, World Gate, Activating the new Immortal Realm Dungeon. Chi Ming had already thought of what to do. He had long formulated the corresponding countermeasures and methods to deal with the various abilities and plans of the Origin Immortal King. From the beginning, Chi Ming did not plan to truly kill the Origin Immortal King. Moreover, with his current cultivation and realm, he could not truly obliterate the Origin Immortal King's consciousness. Chi Ming had originally planned to refine and snatch the Origin Immortal King's space-time treasure, World Gate. After truly mastering the World Gate, he would then refine the Origin Immortal King's consciousness into the artifact spirit of the World Gate. Most importantly, the space-time treasure, World Gate contained countless world origins, which was a resource that was almost omnipotent. The reason why the Origin Immortal King had accumulated so many world origins was because he wanted to use them to completely recover his cultivation. Although the world origin was a resource that was almost omnipotent, it was unable to directly break through to the next realm. The reason why the Origin Immortal King could use these world origin to improve himself was that his original realm was at the level of the Immortal King of the upper world, so he could do it. He was recovering his cultivation, not breaking through. These were two different concepts. Moreover, these world origins were only the world origins of the lower realm. They were at most equivalent to the heavenly Dao realm. Chi Ming cultivated the Great Dao and was at the Great Dao realm. He had surpassed the heavenly Dao realm. The world origin contained in the space-time treasure, World Gate, was not very effective for Chi Ming. Even if he absorbed it, it would be very difficult for him to increase his understanding of the heaven and earth Great Dao. On the contrary, the space-time treasure, World Gate, could absorb all these world origin. If he could refine the Origin Immortal King's consciousness into an artifact spirit, the space-time treasure, World Gate, even had a chance to advance. At that time, it would not be an upper world treasure, but a heavenly Dao treasure. Originally, the Origin Immortal King also wanted to refine the mystic world consciousness into the artifact spirit of the space-time treasure, World Gate. This was because the mystic world consciousness and the Origin Immortal King could be considered to have the same origin. Chaos Great Dao Scripture. Chi Ming sat cross-legged. He sat in front of the space-time treasure, World Gate. He circulated his cultivation technique and comprehended the chaos-colored heaven and earth Great Dao runes. His Mahayana Dharmic powers enveloped it. You the Origin Immortal King was instantly shocked. What do you want to do? Impossible. It's impossible for you to refine the World Gate. It's definitely impossible for you to succeed. This is because I have already grasped the space-time treasure, World Gate. Vaguely, Chi Ming heard the Origin Immortal King's voice transmission. You've already grasped the space-time treasure, World Gate. Chi Ming smiled. Don't lie to yourself. You haven't really refined it at all. You're not the true owner of this treasure. You don't even know the inner space of this treasure. No. No. The Origin Immortal King's consciousness roared. Chi Ming was immersed in it and circulated his cultivation technique. This was because he had already cultivated the three pure Dao scripture and comprehended the chaos-colored heaven and earth Great Dao rune. The space-time treasure, World Gate, would automatically acknowledge him as its master. The space-time treasure, World Gate, was now controlled by the Origin Immortal King. Chi Ming needed to refine it and fight for the ownership. He needed to gradually remove the control of the Origin Immortal King over this treasure and gradually remove the consciousness imprint left behind by the former owner. They all needed time. It was happening at an extremely slow speed. This refinement speed is too slow. Chi Ming frowned. The Origin Immortal King's consciousness is at the level of an upper world Immortal King after all. It's not easy to remove the consciousness imprint on the Origin Immortal King's space-time treasure, World Gate, and strip him of his control over this treasure. According to this situation, it will take too long. I have to find another way. Ding! Because the host's cultivation level has increased to the Mahayana realm, the highest amplification state of AFK farming cultivation has increased from 10 billion to 100 billion times. Ding! Because the host's cultivation level has risen to the Mahayana realm, the number of spirit stones consumed to cultivate AFK farming has increased by 10 times. Every doubled increase requires 10 high-grade spirit stones. Ding! Detected that the host's cultivation level has increased to the Mahayana realm and has already reached the ceiling limit of the lower realm. In order to lay a firm foundation for the host to ascend to the upper world, you can charge 1 billion medium-grade immortal crystals to open the new Immortal Realm game dungeon. You will obtain a large number of rewards for clearing the Immortal Realm dungeon. At this moment, Chi Ming received notifications. This was because Chi Ming's cultivation level had increased, so the AFK farming software had also undergone the corresponding changes. Moreover, he could also activate a new game dungeon. New Immortal Realm game dungeon. Chi Ming pondered for a moment, another different dungeon? The last time was a large-scale new game dungeon, and it was a one-time use one. After I cleared it, I obtained 9 golden core creation pills and passed 9 heavenly tribulations in a short period of time. My cultivation level has increased greatly in a short period of time. What's going on with this new Immortal Realm game dungeon? I'll charge 1 billion top-grade spirit stones. Chi Ming said, comprehend the chaos-colored heaven and earth Great Dao rune. Ding! Charging successful. Comprehending the chaos-colored heaven and earth Great Dao rune under the enhancement of 100 billion. A notification appeared. Continue. Chi Ming said, I'll charge 2 billion top-grade spirit stones and practice the Great Calamity technique and Heavenly Constellation 36 techniques. Ding! Cultivating the Great Calamity art under the enhancement of 100 billion times. Ding! Cultivating the Heavenly Constellation 36 techniques under the enhancement of 100 billion times. 2 notifications appeared. Chi Ming currently grasped 2 great divine powers. The Great Calamity technique and the Heavenly Constellation 36 had both reached the perfection realm. Next, as long as he took another step forward, he could reach the final profound realm. At that time, he could condense the divine power talisman of the great divine power. The power he could unleash would also improve further and completely master these 2 great divine power techniques. I'll charge 1 billion medium-grade immortal crystals. Chi Ming said, activate the new Immortal Realm game dungeon. Ding! Charging successful. New Immortal Realm game dungeon has been successfully activated. You can enter the Mahayana Immortal Realm game dungeon, Heavenly Immortal True Sect. A notification appeared. This is. The related information about the Immortal Realm game dungeon appeared in Chi Ming's mind, and he understood the meaning behind it. I see. The meaning of the Immortal Realm game dungeon is that in the Immortal Realm game dungeon, the weakest enemy will surpass the Mahayana realm. They are all immortals, and the treasures and items they drop will also surpass the Mahayana realm. The game screen appeared. Chi Ming was in the scene. In the scene, the game character that he had transformed into was no longer a living immortal or a righteous person. He had transformed into a demon in the immortal realm. For the upper world, the Heavenly Immortal True Sect was really not a powerful sect. It could only be considered an ordinary sect. Of course, the Heavenly Immortal True Sect was not in the upper world. It was only a sect in the Immortal Realm game dungeon. Now, the young sect master of the Heavenly Immortal True Sect had killed the personal disciple of this Immortal Realm demon that Chi Ming had transformed into. Coupled with the fact that he had spoken rudely and because he had a treasure that Chi Ming wanted, the Immortal Realm demon, which was Chi Ming in actuality, attacked the Heavenly Immortal True Sect. He seized the opportunity and relied on the power of this Immortal Realm demon to attack the sect. A cruel massacre unfolded. Huff! Chi Ming took a deep breath and looked at the battle scene on the game screen. A surprised expression appeared on his face. Is this the strength and combat strength that surpasses the Mahayana realm? It doesn't look very strong. Through the Mahayana Immortal Realm Game Dungeon, Heavenly Immortal True Sect, Chi Ming had an initial understanding of the realm division of the upper world. He only knew the levels of immortals and perfected immortals. Immortals generally referred to the lower realm's Mahayana realm that had just ascended to the upper world and completed the transformation after undergoing the baptism of the upper world. Perfected immortals naturally surpassed the immortals and improved further. Immortals and perfected immortals were both in the category of the immortal realm. With a thought, Chi Ming closed the game interface. "I'll charge 1 billion top-grade spirit stones," Chi Ming said. "Refine the space-time treasure, World Gate." Ding! Charging successful. Space-time treasure, World Gate is being refined under the enhancement of 100 billion times. A notification appeared. It was very obvious. Chi Ming immediately sensed the change. The speed at which he refined the space-time treasure, World Gate increased many times in an instant. What's going on? Why is this happening? No. 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 The Origin Immortal King's consciousness also reacted at the first moment. He did not expect that Chi Ming's speed at refining the space-time treasure, World Gate would increase so many times. The Origin Immortal King was really shocked. At this moment, the Origin Immortal King felt true fear. The space-time treasure, World Gate, was his foundation. If he lost it, his consciousness would completely lose his hiding place and his ability to turn the situation around. However, he could not understand why Chi Ming's refinement speed would suddenly increase by so many times. Could it be that this was the terrifying aspect of cultivating the Great Dao? Chapter 282, Chi Ming Mends the Heavens, Obtaining a Servant. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, it was already the next day. In just a day, Chi Ming had already obtained the corresponding gains by refining the space-time treasure, World Gate, under the enhancement of 100 billion times. He had already obtained the corresponding connection with the space-time treasure, World Gate. A very obvious smile of joy appeared on Chi Ming's face. On the other side, in the space-time treasure, World Gate, the Origin Immortal King's consciousness also felt that he had lost control. Although it was only a small change, it had already caused the Origin Immortal King to fall into extreme panic. This time, he really felt that death was about to arrive. In the depths of his consciousness, he was incomparably afraid. The Origin Immortal King's consciousness tried its best to stop Chi Ming from refining the spatial treasure, the World Gate, but it was all futile. Everything had already been set in stone. The Origin Immortal King could not change anything. Not long after, it was evening. Chi Ming did not receive the notification of clearing the Immortal Realm Game Dungeon, Heavenly Immortal True Sect. He was quite surprised and quickly opened the game interface. In the game dungeon, the Immortal Realm demon that Chi Ming had transformed into had already charged into the Heavenly Immortal True Sect. However, he was surrounded and attacked by the sect. A series of battles erupted. "They're actually still fighting!" Chi Ming exclaimed softly. He originally thought that he could clear the Immortal Realm Game Dungeon, Heavenly Immortal True Sect, the next day, but he did not expect that he did not. In the past, clearing a game dungeon only required a day. It was completely fixed, but this time, the Immortal Realm Game Dungeon, Heavenly Immortal True Sect, could not be cleared in a day. In other words, the Immortal Realm Game Dungeon was different from the previous game dungeons. Every time he cleared it, the time required would increase. Above Chi Ming, the gap in the world barrier was difficult to heal. These gaps in the sky were caused by the battle between Chi Ming and the Origin Immortal King. Endless void wind surged into the mystic world. If this continued, the gap in the world barrier would still slowly expand. If he could not repair this heaven gap, as more and more void wind surged into the mystic world, the entire mystic world would be destroyed again and not be spared. Mending the heavens and sunbathing. Chi Ming raised his head and waved his hand. He opened his inventory and took out a large number of materials. He circulated his mystic technique and divine power to refine these precious materials for heaven mending. Mending the heavens and sunbathing was a mystic technique of the heavenly constellation 36 techniques. When this mystic technique was used, he could unleash the ability to mend the heavens and bathe in the sun. He would grasp the power of heaven and earth. The profundities of the divine power were indescribable. Not long after, Chi Ming completely refined a large number of precious materials and turned them into a 9-colored liquid that molded the corresponding body in his palm. Go! Chi Ming waved his right hand. The 9-colored liquid soared into the sky and was very fast. In the blink of an eye, it covered the entire heavens gap. The 9-colored liquid quickly solidified. Merge! With a thought, Chi Ming's dharmic powers surged out and injected into it. The 9-colored liquid fused with the world barrier and completely solidified, making up the heavens gap. All in all, Chi Ming used less than half an hour to mend the sky. He also spent a lot of the various materials he had obtained from the game dungeon, such as the 5-colored stone, heaven and earth stone, 9 mystical water, and so on. Chi Ming easily completed the mending. Thinking back, at the end of the ancient era, in order to mend the heavens and the earth, Celestial Venerable Ying almost lost his life. He used his life to mend the heavens. From this, it could be seen that the difference in strength between Celestial Venerable Ying and Chi Ming was huge. It was completely incomparable. It's done. Chi Ming took a few glances and confirmed that there was no mistake. He nodded in satisfaction. Things like mending the heavens are quite easy. After all, it's only a lower realm. On the other side, the living beings of the mystic world also discovered the change in the heavens gap. They saw that the crack in the sky had been patched up and the void wind no longer surged in. They were immediately excited and very happy. That's great! Celestial Venerable Ying was overjoyed. This must be Senior Chi Ming's doing. The gap in the sky has been repaired. I was really shocked. I thought that I would use my body to mend the sky again. Senior Chi Ming succeeded in mending the heavens. Good, good, good. This way, we won't have to worry about anything else. Attack! Senior Chi Ming has already finished off the Origin Immortal King for us. If we still can't defeat the Immortals, we'll be useless. Fight with all your might. Kill! The cultivators of the 5 races shouted. In the blink of an eye, another 9 days passed. Ding! Congratulations, host! You have been AFK farming in the Immortal Realm game dungeon, Heavenly Immortal True Sect for 10 days and successfully cleared the Immortal Realm game dungeon, Heavenly Immortal True Sect once. You have received 1 Sect Master of the Heavenly Immortal True Sect and 100 billion medium-grade Immortal Crystals. A notification appeared. I passed. A smile appeared on Chi Ming's face. It took 10 days. The clearing time is 10 times longer. Item: Sect Master of the Heavenly Immortal True Sect. Introduction: A servant of the Immortal Realm game dungeon, Heavenly Immortal True Sect. The original owner is the Sect Master of the Heavenly Immortal True Sect. He possesses the late-stage perfected Immortal Realm cultivation and realm. Because the host is currently only in the lower realm and has not ascended to the upper world, you can't summon this servant for the time being. A notification appeared. Servant. Chi Ming pondered for a moment. Not a spirit pet? It seems that a new function will appear in the AFK farming software. However, these things can only be known after ascending to the upper world. There's no rush for now. Chi Ming was in deep thought. The most important thing now is to completely refine the Spacetime treasure, World Gate, and further refine the Origin Immortal King's consciousness into an artifact spirit. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, another half a month passed. Central Divine Mountain. At the foot of the mountain, Black Lotus, Huo Chongqing, Black Flame, Little Calamity, Death God, Little Yin, Little Bat, and Chi Ming's 6 spirit pets all arrived at the foot of the Central Divine Mountain. Master is at the top of the mountain. Little Calamity raised her head and looked at the top of the Central Divine Mountain. She sensed Chi Ming's aura. Yes. Black Flame nodded and said, Master should have very important things to do. Let's not go up and disturb Master. Protect the surroundings and don't let any living beings approach. Sure. Huo Chongqing nodded. Then we'll stay here. Little Yin and the others also said. On the other side, in the battlefield of the 4 heavenly gates, the 6 races led the army of cultivators of the 5 races alliance and fought repeatedly against the immortal army led by the immortal kings. They did not have any intention of stopping the battle. In this war, from the beginning of the intense battle, and after the white heat, it finally formed a long drawn-out battle. It actually lasted for a full 10 years. A total of 10 years. In these 10 years, many immortal kings took the opportunity to return to the Myriad Immortal Mountain and the Central Divine Mountain. They wanted to contact the Origin Immortal King, but they were unable to obtain any response. There were also immortal kings who wanted to enter the Central Divine Mountain to investigate. They did not believe that Lord Immortal Ancestor would be defeated, much less die. Huo Chongqing, Black Flame and the others guarded the surroundings of the Central Divine Mountain and did not allow any living beings to approach, much less the immortal kings of the immortal race. Those immortal kings who wanted to enter the Central Divine Mountain were all killed on the spot by Black Flame and the others. For 10 years, Chi Ming did not appear again. Celestial Venerable Ying and the others wanted to contact Chi Ming, but they could not find a way or an opportunity. They only saw Huo Chongqing and the others and learned from them that Chi Ming was in seclusion at the top of the Central Divine Mountain. They relaxed slightly. To be precise, this was an unprecedented battle. The immortals were completely defeated. Of the more than 100 immortal kings, only 38 were left. The other immortal kings had all died in battle. 33 Mahayana realm experts of the 5 races had died. As for the other Tribulation Transcendence, Deo Integration and Soul Formation realm cultivators, even more had died. After the battle, through a rough estimate and statistics, around 600 million immortals died, about 100 million gods died, about 100 million devils died, about 110 million ghosts died, about 90 million humans died, and about 100 million demons died. The 6 races of the mystic world were devastated in this unprecedented battle. All in all, more than 1.2 billion cultivators had died. This was an extremely terrifying number. More than 150 Mahayana realm existences had died, including the immortal kings. The entire mystic world was riddled with holes by this unprecedented battle. After this unprecedented battle ended, the heaven and earth tribulation was finally over. In the mystic world, the extremely dense heaven and earth killing intent gradually dissipated and returned to calm. It was as if peace had returned. With the deaths of so many cultivators, life returned to the mystic world. On the surface, the war caused the entire mystic world to be filled with holes, but in fact, the entire mystic world shone with new vitality. Everything was about to begin again. After the battle, the 6 races of the mystic world planned the cultivation laws of the mystic world again. They were jointly designed by the 6 supreme beings. Then, with the agreement of all the Mahayana realm experts of the 5 races, the new cultivation laws could be implemented. Yang Li reformed the immortal race again and changed the name of the immortal race to the spirit race. They no longer called themselves the immortal race and could only be called the spirit race because they were not qualified. In the blink of an eye, 100 years later, the entire mystic world returned to peace. After the great calamity 100 years ago, the mystic world shone with new life and geniuses appeared one after another. Additionally, under Xiao Fan's lead, the Heaven Enlightenment sect only used 100 years to develop into the number 1 sect of the human race. In this year, all the 6 supreme beings felt that they could no longer stay in the mystic world. Their time had already arrived, and it was time to ascend to the upper world. Chapter 283, 100 Years, Ascension. On this day, at noon, Heavenly Venerate Ying, Xiao Fan, Yang Li, Lin Jiu, Shuelin, and Wei Wuxian, the 6 supreme beings gathered. They looked at each other with rather complicated expressions. There was also excitement and anticipation for ascending to the upper world. Their mood was indeed unable to calm down. They were originally already dead because they had used their bodies to complete the mystic world and obtain the gift of the mystic world. With the help of the mystic world's consciousness, their true spirits had been able to survive. Now, they had obtained good fortune and were about to ascend to the upper world. How could they not be excited, happy, and nervous? Central Divine Mountain. Xiao Fan and the others arrived. They wanted to see Chi Ming again before they ascended to the upper world, but they had just approached when they were stopped by Huo Chongqing and the others. Stop! Huo Chongqing held a sword in his arms. His gaze was indifferent as he looked at Xiao Fan and the others. His tone was calm. This is the mystic world's forbidden land. Don't cross it. Several more streaks of light flew over. Chi Ming's 6 spirit pets and Black Lotus were all present. Their auras were very strong. Celestial Venerable Ying and the others felt a huge pressure and looked at them with reverence. I have to say, as expected of Senior Chi Ming. The spirit pets nurtured by Senior are already so powerful. I'm afraid we're not his match. They're very strong and have a strong aura. I'm not their match. How terrifying! Celestial Venerable Ying and the others were quite respectful. Greetings, Senior Spirit Pets. Celestial Venerable Ying and the others looked at each other and lowered their attitudes and identities. Xiao Fan took a step forward and said, "We want to see Senior Chi Ming. Because we don't have much time left. The feeling of being summoned from the upper world is getting stronger and stronger. We can't stay in the mystic world for long. Therefore, we want to see Senior Chi Ming and bid him farewell before we ascend." "I think there's no need." Black Flame said in a low voice, "Master is still in seclusion. He's probably not interested in seeing you." "That's right." Little Calamity and the others nodded. "You should go back and prepare for your ascension." Huo Chongqing reminded, "After flying to the upper world, you will no longer be the strongest in the lower realm. You will only be ordinary immortals." This. Xiao Fan and the others were quite regretful. At the top of the central divine mountain, Chi Ming sat cross-legged. The space-time treasure, World Gate floated in front of him. After 100 years, he had already refined a third of the origin power. No! No! The origin Immortal King's consciousness roared and wailed almost every day. Unfortunately, it was all useless. Xiao Fan and the others are about to ascend to the upper world. Chi Ming noticed the situation at the foot of the mountain. He looked down and sized up Xiao Fan and the others. 100 years have passed. The changes in the mystic world are not small. All of you can go back. At this moment, Chi Ming sent a voice transmission to Xiao Fan and the others. "This is Senior Chi Ming. It's Senior Chi Ming. This. Celestial Venerable Ying and the others were shocked and delighted. They looked up at the top of the central divine mountain and took a deep breath before bowing to Chi Ming. "Yes. Yes. Yes." Celestial Venerable Ying and the others replied. Xiao Fan and the others left. 100 years. Chi Ming pondered for a moment. "I've already refined a third of the origin power of the space-time treasure, World Gate. However, the further I go, the harder it will be to refine." Also Chi Ming continued, "I did not discover the source of the 5 divine mountains of the mystic world in the space-time treasure, World Gate. After the consciousness of the mystic world recovered its freedom, it had already snatched the source of the 5 divine mountains from the origin Immortal King. That's why the mystic world can truly be reborn. In fact, I sensed many world origins in the space-time treasure, World Gate. In the blink of an eye, a month later. On this day, the ascension ceremony of the 6 races was held. Chi Ming did not participate. He sat cross-legged in the void and used the divine power of clairvoyant sight. His gaze was enough to cross the entire world and observe the ascension. The 6 supreme beings gathered. This time, the 6 races ascension ceremony lasted for a full month. At the end of the ceremony, the 6 supreme beings appeared at the same time. I am an ancient demon emperor. Celestial Venerable Ying was prepared to be the first to ascend to the upper world. He roared at the sky and let out a dragon roar. Golden light shone brightly as dragon-shaped golden light rose into the sky. In the blink of an eye, Celestial Venerable Ying transformed into the form of a 3-clawed golden dragon. True Dragon. Celestial Venerable Ying had evolved into the only true dragon in the lower realm. In the ancient calamity, heaven and earth were deficient. I used the body of a Ying Long to complete the heaven and earth to withstand the calamity. After the calamity, my true spirit would not die and I would be reborn. Celestial Venerable Ying roared into the sky. The dragon roar shook the heavens and the earth. Powerful might was released, attracting the attention of countless living beings as they looked up at the sky. The great calamity of heaven and earth began to revive and wanted to devour the mystic world. As the supreme being of the demons, I led the demons of the mystic world and followed Senior Chi Ming to attack the immortals and save the people. Now, the calamity of the world has passed. We won the battle and the mystic world obtained a new life. I am Celestial Venerable Ying. Under the witness of the people and the mystic world consciousness, I'll ascend today. The world will celebrate the occasion. Heaven and earth resonated, and the consciousness of the mystic world appeared. All kinds of phenomena appeared, as if immortal music sounded. Flowers bloomed and golden lotuses surged. In the sky, a huge vortex appeared. This vortex was ancient purple gold in color and was extremely noble. It transformed into a door. It was called, Door of Ascension. This door had many names. The Upper World Gate, the Immortal World Gate, the Longevity Gate, the Supreme Dragon Gate. As long as he passed through this door and crossed it, he would indeed transcend the lower realm and ascend to the upper world to become an immortal. He would be able to obtain longevity. Door of Ascension. It appeared, it appeared. It's been 100,000 years. After more than 100,000 years, I finally see the appearance of the Door of Ascension again. This is Ascension. This is Ascension. During the Ascension ceremony of the 6 races, there were also the other Mahayana realm experts of the 5 races. They were actually about to ascend, but the 6 supreme beings were a step ahead of them. Ha ha ha! Celestial Venerable Ying roared with laughter. He was excited and excited. Under the gazes of the living beings in the mystic world, his laughter spread throughout the surroundings and entered the ears of all the living beings present. Celestial Venerable Ying transformed into a dragon-shaped golden light and flew into the Door of Ascension. Goodbye, Demon Race's Supreme Being. All the living beings present said in unison. The Door of Ascension closed. The living beings of the mystic world could not see what was behind the Door of Ascension at all. They could only vaguely sense that behind the Door of Ascension was a supreme world. It was filled with the unknown. It's my turn. Lin Juyu raised his head. 9 nether chi surged out. It was ghastly and brilliant with yin chi. It soared into the sky and stood in the sky as its aura was completely released. Then, a heaven and earth phenomenon appeared, revealing the 9 netherworlds, suppressing heaven and earth. The Door of Ascension appeared again. I'm leaving. Lin Juyu flew towards the Door of Ascension. His figure entered and disappeared. The door closed again and quickly disappeared. Goodbye, Ghost Race's Supreme Being. The living beings present bowed again. Xuelin shouted and divine light blossomed. The phenomenon of the 9 heavens divine kingdom appeared and filled the world. The heavenly might was vast, and the consciousness of the mystic world descended. Immediately after, the Door of Ascension appeared again. Her gaze was calm, but she was still very excited and nervous in the depths of her heart. Under the heaven and earth phenomenon, the God Race's Supreme Being, Xuelin, flew into the Door of Ascension. Xuelin was the only woman among the 6 races' Supreme Being. Goodbye, God Race's Supreme Being. Many living beings shouted in unison. Ha ha ha! Wei Wuxian laughed repeatedly. Demonic chi rushed into the sky, the demonic path appeared, heavenly devils danced about, and layers of demonic shadows appeared. Flowers blossomed and black lotuses surged on the ground. The door of ascension appeared. I'm going. Wei Wuxian flew into the ascension door. Her figure disappeared and the door closed. The worldly phenomenon quickly disappeared and the world returned to calm. Goodbye, Devil Race's Supreme Being. Many living beings cupped their hands and bowed again as they shouted in unison. It's my turn. Yang Li took a deep breath. He glanced at Xiao Fan and nodded at him. Yang Li retracted his gaze and raised his head to look at the sky. Not long after, dharmic powers surged around Yang Li as an extremely powerful sword intent seemed to pierce through the mystic world. This was no longer just the sword Dao, but contained the sword Dao laws. At this moment, in the entire mystic world, the 10,000 swords cried out in unison as they kowtowed and respectfully sent off the sword Dao Supreme Being. The door of ascension appeared. Yang Li transformed into a sword light and entered the door of ascension. At this moment, from the door of ascension, a voice actually sounded. Such sword Dao talent is interesting. You have a chance of entering the heavenly sword sect. The voice said. The door of ascension closed and disappeared. Just now. A sound came from the door of ascension. It's true. We didn't hear wrongly. Can he enter the heavenly sword sect? What is the heavenly sword sect? Could it be a sect of the upper world? This. Everyone was shocked. Goodbye, Spirit Race's Supreme Being. They returned to their senses. Everyone bowed. Now, only I'm left. Xiao Fan stood up. Around Xiao Fan, there were Heaven Secret's ancestor, Patriarch Heavenly 9, Patriarch Black Yellow, and the Heaven Enlightenment Sect's Grand Elders. They bowed to Xiao Fan. Congratulations, Sect Master. You have attained the Immortal Dao. You are free and unfettered in this world. Your longevity is in sight. They bowed and congratulated. Longevity is in sight. Xiao Fan shook his head and laughed loudly. In my opinion, ascending to the upper world is only another beginning. Perhaps longevity is possible, but carefree is still far away. Chapter 284, A Thousand Years, Successful Refinement. Chi Ming was at the top of the distant central divine mountain. He sat cross-legged in the void and looked at the scene of celestial venerable Ying and the others ascending, taking in everything. Therefore, this is ascension. It's indeed the first time I've seen it, but I feel that the commotion is not very big. The phenomenon created is also very ordinary. Chi Ming said, also, although the divine power of the clairvoyant sight is powerful and extraordinary, it can't pass through the door of ascension, much less see what's behind it. If I want to answer this question, I need to experience it myself. At this moment, Xiao Fan no longer suppressed himself. All his aura was released. The purple gold 12th grade lotus flower bloomed. It was dazzling and endless. A phenomenon appeared. It was magnificent. Heavenly flowers bloomed and golden lotuses surged on the ground. Heaven and earth Dao sounds and immortal music sounded. In the sky, the door of ascension appeared again. It attracted the attention and yearning of countless living beings. I am the human race's supreme being of the mystic world. Xiao Fan clasped his hands behind his back. His gaze was calm and his expression was indifferent. He walked towards the door of ascension step by step. In the ancient calamity, the 4 divine mountain pillars collapsed. I and the other 4 supreme beings transformed into the pillars to mend heaven and earth. We should have died and our Dao dissipated, but we were blessed by the consciousness of the mystic world and our true spirits survived. Thousands of years have passed. Just as my true spirit was about to be assimilated by the consciousness of the mystic world, because of the great calamity of heaven and earth rising again, I was forced to face the calamity again. My true spirit reincarnated and cultivated again. The origin immortal king was revived and it attempted to devour the mystic world to reach the peak. I led the humans of the mystic world to follow Senior Chi Ming's footsteps. We suppressed the Origin Immortal King and succeeded in stopping him. We established a great merit for the world. Today, all living beings will focus their attention on me. I will soar into the sky and the world will celebrate. Xiao Fan's aura reached the peak. We bid you farewell, human race's supreme being. In the surroundings, the living beings shouted in unison and bowed. Xiao Fan shouted loudly and walked into the door of Ascension. His figure disappeared, but unfortunately, he did not hear any voices from within. The door of Ascension closed. This way, the 6 supreme beings all ascended, and the Ascension ceremony officially ended. Huff! Chi Ming took a deep breath and retracted his divine power. He no longer paid attention to it and focused all his attention on refining the space-time treasure, World Gate. Chi Ming! Chi Ming! The Origin Immortal King's consciousness had already become weak. The 6 supreme beings of the 6 races have ascended. You're about to ascend as well. I'm an immortal king of the upper world and know many secrets. I can tell you everything. Don't refine the space-time treasure, World Gate anymore. You can't succeed, you can't succeed. Chi Ming pretended not to hear anything. The Origin Immortal King shouted repeatedly. He was extremely unwilling to give up. It was but a dying struggle. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, another 100 years later. Chi Ming's master, Patriarch Heaven Secrets, ascended to the upper world. In succession, several Mahayana realm experts of the 5 races opened the door of ascension and ascended to the upper world. Unknowingly, hundreds of years later. On this day, at noon. Ding! Congratulations, host! Under the enhancement of 1000 times, the space-time treasure, World Gate has been refined for 1000 years. You have successfully refined it and obtained the ownership of the space-time treasure, World Gate, becoming the true owner. A notification appeared. The space-time treasure, World Gate was trembling. The power of the world surged and transformed into a grey fog that had already enveloped Chi Ming's entire body. The Origin Immortal King's consciousness screamed miserably. This is... Chi Ming closed his eyes and sensed the power of the space-time treasure, World Gate. All kinds of power surged over. Chi Ming used the World Gate as the foundation to comprehend the intrinsic mysteries of space and time. Chi Ming also clearly sensed the endless world origin contained in the space-time treasure, World Gate. This was the world origin accumulated by the Origin Immortal King. There was too much. It was indescribable. Chi Ming also discovered the consciousness imprints of the 166 immortal kings in the space-time treasure, World Gate. The immortal race was already in the past. They should be called the spirit race now. The immortal king of the past had now changed his name to the spirit race Spirit King. This way, Chi Ming could control all the spirit race spirit kings through the space-time treasure, World Gate. Not long after, Chi Ming had already completely grasped the space-time treasure, World Gate. Through it, he could sense the aura of the various worlds and even the existence of the upper world. As expected of an upper world treasure. As long as Chi Ming's cultivation level was sufficient, he could use the spatial treasure, the World Gate, to head to any world. It was enough to traverse the worlds. In fact, he could also reverse the space-time of the world. To achieve space-time inversion, one needed a very high cultivation level. The power of the space-time treasure, World Gate was very powerful. It was not just a tool to transmigrate. It also possessed terrifying power. If the Origin Immortal King had really completely grasped the spatial treasure, the World Gate, Chi Ming might not be able to defeat the Origin Immortal King. He would probably be defeated or even die. The power of the World Gate gradually converged. The light fog of space-time disappeared and the power of the world was hidden. However, at the center of Chi Ming's brows, a space-time mark was imprinted. It was like a Ouroboros ring. Gradually, the space-time mark also disappeared. A smile appeared on Chi Ming's face. He was in a very good mood. I used 1,000 years to refine the space-time treasure, World Gate. Now, I've already completely refined this treasure, and you won't have a place to hide anymore. Your consciousness has already been assimilated. Chi Ming. The Origin Immortal King had actually already completely given up hope. He had already guessed the outcome he was about to face. At this final moment, he screamed, "Ah!" The power of the Origin Immortal King's consciousness was mobilized. He actually wanted to self-destruct. If he successfully did so, although he would not be able to injure Chi Ming, it would cause the World Gate to suffer a huge injury and even drop in grade. This was not the outcome Chi Ming wanted to see. Self-destruct. Chi Ming smiled. Origin Immortal King, it's already too late for you to self-destruct now. If you still had the chance to self-destruct before I completely refined and controlled the space-time treasure, World Gate, you wouldn't have had the chance now. Suppress. With a thought, Chi Ming circulated his cultivation technique. The power of the heaven and earth Great Dao surged into the supreme treasure and truly stimulated the power of the World Gate to suppress the Origin Immortal King's consciousness. You. The Origin Immortal King was shocked. How can this be? How can the space-time treasure, World Gate have such an ability? Why didn't I know about it in the past? This is because you have never truly grasped the space-time treasure, World Gate. Chi Ming answered the Origin Immortal King's questions. You haven't really used the power of the space-time treasure, World Gate. You're not the true master. I. The Origin Immortal King's consciousness fell into a daze. It's time to end it. Chi Ming's gaze was indifferent. With a thought, his Mahayana Dharmic powers surged into it. He mobilized the power of the spatial treasure, the World Gate, and began to refine and absorb the world origin inside. Too much. It was endless. The vast world origin constantly fused with the spatial treasure, the World Gate, and was absorbed by it. 166 Spirit Race Spirit Kings. Chi Ming pointed with his right hand and circulated his cultivation technique. The power of the heaven and earth Great Dao fused into this treasure. Unknowingly, the power of this treasure was released. In an instant, the true spirit consciousness of a total of 166 spirit kings were forcefully summoned by Chi Ming and forcefully removed from their bodies. Among the spirit race, on this day, the 36 spirit race spirit kings who did not die in the unprecedented battle 1,000 years ago also widened their eyes at the same time. Their expressions were stiff as they fell straight down. All of them died. This matter spread. The entire spirit race was shocked. This matter also alarmed the entire mystic world and shocked the 6 races. Apart from that, the remaining 130 spirit kings of the spirit race had died in that unprecedented battle, for example, the first Immortal King, the Supreme Immortal King, the Eternal Immortal King, Immortal King Ling Long, and so on. Although they died, their true spirits were not destroyed. After 1,000 years, they revived in another world and recovered their full cultivation. They could not contact the spatial treasure, the World Gate, so they had never been able to return to the mystic world. They could only stay in the world they had revived. On this day, Chi Ming crossed the distance and space of the world. With the help of the power of the spatial treasure, the World Gate, he stripped the true spirit consciousness of the 130 spirit race spirit kings and forcefully summoned them in front of him. The 166 spirit race spirit kings did not have the ability to resist. Around the space-time treasure, World Gate, 166 figures appeared. They floated around and had their own consciousness as they noticed Chi Ming. It's you. Chi Ming. You're not dead. Where is the immortal race? Scoundrel. How did we become like this? What happened? The first Immortal King and the others had already noticed Chi Ming. Fury appeared on their faces as they berated loudly. The other 36 spirit race spirit kings had gloomy expressions. Chapter 285, Refining the Artifact Spirit. Chi Ming ignored the first immortal king and the others. In Chi Ming's opinion, the 166 true spirit consciousnesses of the spirit race's spirit king were all materials and resources used to refine the artifact spirit. It was not worth mentioning. Spare me. Senior Chi Ming, spare me. We were wrong. We were really wrong. Spare us. Thump. Thump. The true spirit consciousnesses of the 36 spirit race spirit kings knelt on the ground. They kowtowed and begged Chi Ming for mercy. After so many years, these spirit race spirit kings had long known the truth of the matter and knew how wrong they had been back then. You bastards! You traitors! You actually betrayed the immortal ancestor. Unforgivable! Unforgivable! The first immortal king and the others were furious. Shut up! Shut up! What bullsh** T immortal ancestor? The immortal ancestor is long dead. We were all tricked. We were all tricked. Ha ha ha. The immortal ancestor that we've always respected, worshipped, and looked forward to is completely fake. From the beginning, the immortal ancestor died. We believe in the origin immortal king. He's really the origin immortal king. Moreover, from the beginning, the origin immortal king was lying to us. The plan to create the immortal world was fake. He wanted to devour the entire mystic world. He did not even plan to let us, the immortal kings who were loyal to him, off. We were only his sacrifices. Sacrifices. Too sad, too sad. Ha ha ha. The 36 spirit race spirit kings laughed loudly with sorrowful voices. No no. This is impossible. It's not true. It's not true. You're lying. You're lying. The first immortal king and the others widened their eyes and roared repeatedly. Noisy. Chi Ming's gaze was cold. With a wave of his right hand, the power of the spatial treasure, the world gate, was released and suppressed 166 spirit kings. Refine. Chi Ming took a deep breath and circulated his cultivation technique. The power of the heaven and earth great Dao appeared. The power of the space-time treasure, world gate surged out and enveloped the first immortal king. The first immortal king screamed miserably in extreme pain. Chi Ming was refining the first immortal king's true spirit consciousness and fusing it into the space-time treasure, world gate. Coupled with the world origin, he wanted to refine an artifact spirit. The 166 spirit race spirit kings were only the appetizers. The true main dish was the origin immortal king. Refining the true spirit consciousness of the 166 spirit race spirit kings was to establish a firm foundation in the refinement of the artifact spirit. I'll charge 2 billion top-grade spirit stones. Chi Ming said in a low voice, begin refining the true spirit consciousness of the spirit race's spirit king and fusing with the world origin. Ding! The first immortal king's true spirit consciousness is being refined under the enhancement of 100 billion times. Ding! The world origin is being refined and fused under the enhancement of 100 billion times. 2 notifications appeared. The speed at which Chi Ming refined it increased greatly. The origin immortal king's consciousness also sensed the change. He was incomparably shocked in his heart and became even more terrified and respectful. In the surroundings, the remaining 165 spirit kings were also extremely terrified. They wanted to escape, run, and even take revenge. They did not have such power at all. They were completely restricted by the space-time treasure, world gate. They could only obediently become the resources for the advancement of the world gate. Chi Ming refined the spatial treasure, the world gate, and used a full 1,000 years. After these 1,000 years, a huge change happened in the mystic world. First, in the past 1,000 years, the Mahayana realm experts of the god race, demon race, devil race, ghost race, human race all ascended to the upper world one after another. The spirit race had abandoned the immortal king's dharma method in the past and cultivated the correct method. There were also a few city lords, who were the current city lords, who successfully transcended the tribulation and broke through to the Mahayana realm. Among the 5 races, there were also many tribulation eminences who had crossed the 9 heavenly tribulation and reached the Mahayana realm. In a short 1,000 years, there was already a huge change. Looking at the entire mystic world. Now, there were already very few existences at the Mahayana realm. This was because most of them had already ascended to the upper world. Only a few people who had just broken through to the Mahayana realm remained in the mystic world. A year later. Ding! The first immortal king's true spirit consciousness has been refined for a year under the enhancement of 100 billion times. Congratulations, host! You have successfully refined the first immortal king's true spirit consciousness. Ding! Congratulations, host! You have refined and fused with the world origin under the enhancement of 100 billion times. You have already absorbed 1,000th of all the world origin. A notification appeared. The corners of Chi Ming's mouth curled up slightly. He was in a good mood. With a thought, he waved his right hand and circulated his cultivation technique. His dharmic powers fled into the sky, and he sent the Supreme Immortal King into the spatial treasure, the World Gate. He began refining it again. I'll charge 2 billion top-grade spirit stones. Chi Ming said, continue refining. Ding! The Supreme Immortal King's true spirit consciousness is being refined under the enhancement of 100 billion times. Ding! The world origin is being refined and fused under the enhancement of 100 billion times. A few notifications appeared. Not bad. Chi Ming nodded slightly. In the blink of an eye, another year later. Chi Ming received the notification from the AFK farming software again. He used a year to successfully refine and fuse the Supreme Immortal King's true spirit consciousness. He then refined and absorbed another 1,000th of the world origin. This way, Chi Ming could basically refine the true spirit consciousness of a spirit race spirit king every year and even refine 1,000th of the world origin. Time passed. Spring passed and autumn came. While cultivating, the scene changed. 164 years later. Boom! Boom! Chi Ming did not seem to have changed much, but the space-time treasure, World Gate, had changed greatly. In the surroundings, the true spirit consciousnesses of the 166 spirit race spirit kings disappeared. They were all refined and fused by the space-time treasure, World Gate, and became resources for nurturing and refining the artifact spirit. At the same time, the space-time treasure, World Gate, had also absorbed a total of 16.6% of the world origin. It had exceeded 10%, but it had not reached a fifth. Chi Ming sensed that the spatial treasure, the World Gate, had changed. It became stronger and more profound, as if it had already been tainted with a trace of the heaven and earth heavenly Dao. Everything Chi Ming did was right. Good, good, good. A smile appeared on Chi Ming's face. He was very satisfied. This is the result I want. As long as I refine the origin Immortal King's consciousness and absorb all the world origin, there's a high chance of raising the space-time treasure, World Gate, to the level of the heavenly Dao treasure. Chi Ming took a deep breath and with a thought, his attention landed on the origin Immortal King's consciousness. All your subordinates are gone. It's your turn now. Chi Ming. After so many years, the origin Immortal King's consciousness had always been in fear. He was incomparably furious and hated Chi Ming. For more than 1,000 years, he had cursed Chi Ming at all times. I curse you. I curse you that you won't succeed. I curse you that you will definitely fail. I curse you that you will die a horrible death. I curse you that you will never be able to reincarnate. Ridiculous. Chi Ming shook his head. These curses of yours are nothing to me. They're useless. It's really sad. Chaos Great Dao Scripture. With a thought, Chi Ming circulated his cultivation technique. In the past 1,000 years, he had actually been charging top-grade spirit stones and comprehending the Chaos Heaven and Earth Great Dao runes under the enhancement of 100 billion times. It was not easy to comprehend a deeper Heaven and Earth Great Dao. Therefore, Chi Ming had not been able to advance the Chaos Great Dao scripture. In addition, the Great Calamity technique and the Heavenly Constellation 36 techniques had increased a little, but they were still a distance away from the profound realm. Refine. Chi Ming circulated his dharmic powers, and they contained the true intent of the Heaven and Earth Great Dao. They searched into the spatial treasure, the world gate, and enveloped the Origin Immortal King's consciousness. An incomparably miserable cry sounded from the Origin Immortal King's consciousness. It was extremely painful. It was very miserable. "I'll charge 1 billion top-grade spirit stones," Chi Ming said, "refine the Origin Immortal King's consciousness." Ding! Charging successful. You are refining the Origin Immortal King's consciousness under the enhancement of 100 billion times. A notification appeared. The speed at which Chi Ming refined the Origin Immortal King's consciousness clearly increased. It was as if he had used a speed-up cheat, and it increased many times. Ah! The Origin Immortal King's consciousness screamed even more miserably. It was too fast. This was actually not refinement, but a combination of refinement and assimilation. The spirituality produced by refining the souls of the 166 spirit race spirit kings was currently fusing with the consciousness of the Origin Immortal King. According to this situation, if Chi Ming's plan and guess succeeded, Chi Ming could refine the Origin Immortal King into the artifact spirit of the spatial treasure, the world gate, while ensuring his consciousness. At that time, if it succeeded, not only could Chi Ming obtain an even stronger heavenly Dao treasure, but he could also obtain an artifact spirit that possessed all the memories and knowledge of an immortal king of the upper world. It could be said to be killing two birds with one stone. Chapter 286, Transformation Complete, Heavenly Dao Treasure, Spacetime Gate. The Origin Immortal King's consciousness possessed an undying nature, and it was even an immortal king of the upper world. It was extremely difficult for Chi Ming to refine and assimilate the Origin Immortal King's consciousness. It was almost impossible. Chi Ming had the AFK farming software. He could cultivate and could even refine it under the enhancement of 100 billion times. This was basically cheating. In the blink of an eye, another year later, Chi Ming had little progress in refining the Origin Immortal King's consciousness. He had only refined and absorbed 1,000th of the world origin. It was a stable improvement. He had previously refined the true spirit consciousness of a spirit race spirit king every year. From this, it was obvious. The consciousness of the Origin Immortal King was really much stronger than the true spirit consciousness of the spirit race's spirit king. The two sides were not on the same level at all. Just like that, time passed. Unknowingly, 834 years had gone by. Thinking about it carefully, 1,000 years had passed since Chi Ming successfully refined the spatial treasure, the world gate. It seemed to have passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, at noon. Ding! Congratulations, host! You have cultivated the Heavenly Constellation 36 techniques for more than 2,000 years under the enhancement of 100 billion times. You have already completely comprehended the Heavenly Constellation 36 techniques and completely grasped it. You have successfully risen from the perfection realm to the profound realm and condensed a divine power talisman. Ding! Congratulations, host! The Great Calamity technique has been cultivated for more than 2,000 years under the enhancement of 100 billion times. You have already completely comprehended the Great Calamity technique and completely grasped it. You have successfully risen from the perfection realm to the profound realm and condensed a divine power talisman. 2 notifications appeared in succession. Chi Ming nodded slightly. After cultivating continuously for so many years, the 2 great divine powers had gradually reached the profound realm and arrived at the peak. He had always been sitting cross-legged in the void. All kinds of mysteries regarding the heavenly constellation 36 techniques and the Great Calamity technique immediately appeared in his mind as he gradually comprehended them. At this moment, Chi Ming entered a profound state. He felt as if his consciousness had arrived in another strange and profound world. In this world, it was as if there was no concept of time. He kept comprehending and understanding the Great Calamity technique and the heavenly constellation 36 techniques. Finally, Chi Ming's entire body shook as his mind became empty. He had already completely comprehended the heavenly constellation 36 techniques and the Great Calamity technique and had reached the profound realm. Immediately after, in Chi Ming's Danshan. First, the dharmic powers in Chi Ming's body surged as various mysteries gathered. Above the chaos true body, 36 star-like divine power talismans gradually condensed. Every star represented a mystic technique of the heavenly constellation 36 techniques. The order arranged corresponded to the 36 heavenly constellations. It could be said to be dazzling. Soon, countless calamities appeared. All kinds of calamity phenomena appeared. Dharmic powers surged, and runes appeared. They gathered and transformed into a calamity black hole. This black hole-like existence floated in the center and emitted extremely powerful might. It was the divine power talisman of the Great Calamity technique. This way, the two great divine powers that Chi Ming grasped had both reached the profound realm. Not bad, not bad. Chi Ming also felt the change. With a thought, he could use the power of the heavenly constellation 36 techniques and the Great Calamity technique. He could do as he pleased and completely master them. Moreover, their power was powerful, much stronger than when they were still at the perfection realm. In the blink of an eye, a month later, the world gate shook. A peerlessly profound aura surged out as the power of the heaven and earth heavenly Dao gathered and surged into it. Ding! Congratulations, host! You have successfully refined the artifact spirit for 1,000 years under the enhancement of 100 billion times. You have successfully fused all the world origins into the space-time treasure, world gate, allowing it to obtain enough energy to nurture and refine the artifact spirit. Ding! Congratulations, host! You have successfully refined the artifact spirit for 1,000 years under the enhancement of 100 billion times. You have successfully assimilated the power of the 166 spirit race spirit king's true spirit consciousness into the origin immortal king's consciousness. You have successfully assimilated the origin immortal king's consciousness into the artifact spirit of the space-time treasure, world gate. In the morning, Chi Ming received 2 notifications. All in all, he used 1,000 years to finally successfully assimilate the origin immortal king's consciousness into the artifact spirit of the space-time treasure, world gate. Chi Ming had indeed succeeded. At this moment, the space-time treasure, world gate began an unprecedented transformation. When the origin immortal king's consciousness was completely refined by Chi Ming and assimilated into the artifact spirit, it was already completely under his control. The origin immortal king had become Chi Ming's subordinate, and he was even an artifact spirit. Everything that had happened in the past had become fleeting. All of this was as Chi Ming had expected. The world gate had absorbed all the world origins. In addition to nurturing the artifact spirit, the world origins contained the mysteries of the heaven and earth heavenly Dao. All the conditions were met. This upper world treasure was transforming towards the heavenly Dao treasure. All around, the power of the invisible heaven and earth heavenly Dao surged over. All kinds of light fog spread out and phenomenon appeared. Grey energy surged and completely enveloped the world gate. The transformation required time. I'll charge 1 billion top-grade spirit stones. Chi Ming said, let the space-time treasure, world gate transform through AFK farming. Ding! Charging successful. Space-time treasure, world gate is transforming under the enhancement of 100 billion times. A notification appeared. Very good. Chi Ming nodded in satisfaction. At this moment, a stream of light flew out of the spatial treasure, the world gate, and revealed a figure. It was the artifact spirit that had been assimilated by the Origin Immortal King's consciousness. The artifact spirit of the space-time treasure, World Gate greets Master. After this artifact spirit took the initiative to appear, it bowed to Chi Ming and said very respectfully, "Not bad." Chi Ming sized it up a few times and was very satisfied. "Artifact spirit, do you still have all your memories? Can you still be considered the Origin Immortal King?" The artifact spirit replied, "I indeed remember all my memories. These memories not only contain all the memories of the Origin Immortal King, but also all the memories of the 166 other spirit race spirit kings. Also, although I still have all my memories, I'm no longer the Origin Immortal King. He's already completely dead. I'm a new existence, the artifact spirit of the new space-time treasure, World Gate." "Very good." Chi Ming was even more satisfied. "From today onwards, I'll give you a new name. It's called Origin." The artifact spirit, Origin, was stunned for a moment. Was Origin a new name? Wasn't this the title of the Origin Immortal King? Regardless, it replied, "Artifact spirit, Origin, thanks Master." Chi Ming smiled. "Origin, how long until the space-time treasure, World Gate transforms? Will it truly transform into a heavenly Dao treasure?" Origin pondered for a moment and said, "If nothing unexpected happens midway, it will still take 100 years. "Very good." Chi Ming nodded. "If it's 100 years, I can still wait." In the blink of an eye, another 100 years later. Ding! "Congratulations, host! The space-time treasure, World Gate has transformed for 100 years under the enhancement of 100 billion times. It has fused with the heaven and earth heavenly Dao and engraved the heavenly Dao true mark. It has successfully transformed into a heavenly Dao treasure. Its power has increased greatly." A notification appeared. Success! Chi Ming was overjoyed. The space-time treasure, World Gate changed. The power of the heaven and earth heavenly Dao surged into it, and faint heavenly Dao true marks appeared. From his initial estimations, the transformation of the space-time treasure, World Gate did not seem to have changed much, nor did it produce any phenomenon. However, Chi Ming sensed that the power and ability of the space-time treasure, World Gate had increased many times. Now, the space-time treasure, World Gate had already become the heavenly Dao treasure, Space-time Gate. The artifact spirit, Origin, appeared. The body of the artifact spirit, Origin, could almost completely materialize, like a true living being. His entire body contained the heavenly Dao true intent. "Thank you, Master. The treasure has already completed the transformation." Origin bowed to Chi Ming. "Yes, okay." Chi Ming nodded slightly. With a thought, Chi Ming waved his right hand again. The previous space-time treasure, World Gate, which was the current heavenly Dao treasure, Space-time Gate, quickly shrunk and flew above Chi Ming's palm. A white light flashed in front of him. The heavenly Dao treasure, Space-time Gate, disappeared and entered Chi Ming's body. It floated in his dantian and stopped beside the Chaos True Body, infected by the great Dao of heaven and earth. Chi Ming's three intrinsic treasures, World-piercing Sword, Sword Mountain, Chaos Green Lotus Sword Embryo, had already been refined by Chi Ming to the level of a lower realm supreme treasure, which was also a top-grade Mahayana treasure. The Nailhead 7 Arrows book had also reached the level of a lower realm treasure. The Nailhead 7 Arrows Dharma treasure had growth potential. Moreover, it had fused with the corresponding divine power. This Dharma treasure had fused into the star represented by the Nailhead 7 Arrows. Up until now, this Dharma treasure had not been used by Chi Ming. He had never had the chance to use it. He did not know if he would have a chance to use it after ascending to the upper world. Chapter 287, 6 Races of the Mystic World welcome Senior Chi Ming's return. Chi Ming restrained his strength. He had long reached the ceiling realm of the lower realm. He had also cultivated the first volume of the Chaos Great Dao scripture to the perfection realm. The highest cultivation realm of the first volume of the Chaos Great Dao scripture was the Mahayana realm. Chi Ming needed to continue comprehending the Chaos Heaven and Earth Great Dao runes and continue the cultivation method of the first volume of the Chaos Great Dao scripture to create a new cultivation method. He had been studying the Chaos Heaven and Earth Great Dao runes for so many years. Although he had made some progress, it was not enough to deduce and create a new cultivation method. It was still a little lacking. In other words, Chi Ming needed the cultivation method of the upper world for the immortal realm. I don't have much time left. Chi Ming raised his head. His gaze stared at the sky as if he had crossed endless space and time to look at the upper world. I'm about to ascend. That feeling is becoming clearer and clearer. After he broke through to the Mahayana realm, he stayed in the mystic world for more than 2,000 years. The summoning feeling from the upper world became clearer and clearer. He could already clearly sense the existence of the door of ascension. Next, Chi Ming only needed to release his aura with all his might and the door of ascension would appear. He could then enter the upper world through the door of ascension. Through the transformed heavenly Dao treasure, Spacetime gate, Chi Ming could also sense the existence of the upper world. Moreover, there was not only one upper world. Chi Ming's figure disappeared from the spot. He left the void layer and stayed there for more than 2,000 years. He finally came out of seclusion. He arrived at the top of the central divine mountain. Standing on the top of the mountain, Chi Ming clasped his hands behind his back and looked at the entire mystic world. He took in everything and felt the changes in the mystic world as well as the extremely abundant spiritual chi of heaven and earth. The mystic world had long changed. It had obtained a new life. The next moment, beside Chi Ming, 7 figures appeared. They were Chi Ming's 6 spirit pets including Huo Chongqing, Black Flame, and the Corpse Chief, Black Lotus. They sensed Chi Ming's aura and immediately came. Greetings, Master. Congratulations, Master. Greetings, Master. Huo Chongqing, Black Lotus, and the others said in unison. Chi Ming nodded slightly and glanced at Huo Chongqing and the others. It's been hard on you to guard this place for the past 2,000 years. This is what we should do, Huo Chongqing and the others immediately said. Let's go. Chi Ming said, it's time to leave. Yes. Yes. Huo Chongqing and the others said. Chi Ming and the others transformed into streaks of light and disappeared, leaving the central divine mountain. Chi Ming was not anxious. He was not in a hurry to return to the Heaven Enlightenment sect and began to travel the entire mystic world. 2,000 years had passed. The change in the mystic world was very great. The 6 races existed together and were flourishing. Although most of the Mahayana realm experts in the entire mystic world had all ascended, it was peaceful. Half a year later, Chi Ming traveled the entire mystic world before returning to the Heaven Enlightenment sect. In the southern region, Heaven Enlightenment sect. On the day Chi Ming returned, in the sky, he sensed the aura of the karma tribulation. He quickly raised his head and saw an incomparably huge creation wood divine tree. It was majestic and had lush leaves. He could not see the end of it. Just a divine tree seemed to support the entire world. At this moment, the aura of karma shook and erupted with a powerful karma tribulation force. It wanted to destroy this incomparably huge creation wood divine tree with extremely vast might. In the tribulation chi fog that filled the sky, a graceful figure appeared. She was like an immortal descending to the mortal world. It was wonderful. So King Ian. Chi Ming recognized her at a glance. She's transcending the karma tribulation. After more than 2,000 years, So King Ian's cultivation has increased a lot. She has already transcended the 9 tribulations and the first 8 tribulations of the 9 heavenly tribulation. She's beginning to transcend the karma tribulation. Not bad, not bad. Chi Ming nodded slightly. Suddenly, Chi Ming heard another huge rumble. This rumble came from another direction. Moreover, it was also in the territory of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. He looked over again. Another familiar figure appeared in Chi Ming's vision. Senior sister. Chi Ming saw that in the karma tribulation chi that filled the sky, the person sitting cross-legged was his senior sister, Lu Qingjian. She was the same as So King Ian. After more than 2,000 years, her cultivation level had also reached a very high realm. She was undergoing the karma tribulation. The news of So King Ian and Lu Qingjian crossing the karma tribulation had long spread and attracted the attention of many factions. It could be said that the entire mystic world was paying attention to this. The three Mahayana realm spirit kings of the spirit race were most concerned about this matter. In the current mystic world, because the Mahayana realm experts of the five races had basically all ascended to the upper world, the number of Mahayana realm existences could already be counted on one hand. If Lu Qingjian and So King Ian could transcend the karma tribulation, they would definitely break through to the Mahayana realm. Such an important matter would naturally attract the close attention of many factions. Time passed. A few days later. At the last moment, So King Ian and Lu Qingjian's karma tribulation had already blocked most of the karma tribulation chi and paid most of the karma. As for Chi Ming, he had used the divine power to revive Lu Qingjian back then. However, before this matter, Lu Qingjian had also sacrificed herself to save Chi Ming from the dragon alligator venerable. This karma had long been resolved. Tribulation chi surged and karma aura erupted. It was indeed the last moment. An explosion sounded. At this moment, a figure tore through the air at a very fast speed, reaching the limit of the lower realm. This figure was one of the three Mahayana realm spirit kings of the spirit race. It was called the Moon Shadow Spirit King. Now, this Moon Shadow Spirit King took this opportunity to kill Lu Qingjian and So King Ian. This action caused many factions to be shocked. It's her. The spirit race's Moon Shadow Spirit King. How dare you? She actually dares to kill the Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. In the surroundings, the subordinates of the various factions were shocked. Clearly, So King Ian and Lu Qingjian were already Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. Oh no! Stop her! Damn it! In the surroundings, the Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect were furious. They wanted to stop the Moon Shadow Spirit King, but they discovered that her speed was too fast. Moreover, she had an extremely powerful domain that could block the approach of these Grand Elders. She was too powerful. The Heaven Enlightenment sect's Tribulation Transcendence Realm Grand Elders were not her match at all. Die! Chi Ming attacked at this moment. He took a step forward and appeared. His right hand stretched out and transformed into an incomparably huge palm that covered the sky. What is this? Oh God! What a terrifying aura! He's Senior Chi Ming. After more than 2,000 years, I thought that Senior Chi Ming might have ascended long ago. I didn't expect Senior Chi Ming to appear again. Oh my God! Immediately, the surrounding living beings cried out in surprise. Their gazes landed on Chi Ming. They basically recognized him and exclaimed, Chi Ming! The Moon Shadow Spirit King screamed in fear. She turned around and saw Chi Ming. She fell into great fear. Without any hesitation, she gave up on attacking Lu Qingjian and So King Ian and fled into the distance. It was already too late for the Moon Shadow Spirit King to escape now. Chi Ming naturally could not let her escape. When he attacked, he completely sealed the surrounding space. No! 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 The Moon Shadow Spirit King screamed repeatedly, I'll die with you. Chi Ming's palm landed as if he had slapped a mosquito to death. Under his palm, all the methods of the Moon Shadow Spirit King were like bubbles that could not withstand a single blow. They were easily defeated. Then, the entire body of the Moon Shadow Spirit King exploded, and she was completely dead. She was obliterated into ashes, and there was no corpse left. Nothing was left. Gasp! Too strong, too strong. Senior Chi Ming is an invincible existence. This is the Moon Shadow Spirit King of the Mahayana realm. She's already in existence at the ceiling of the mystic world. However, in the hands of Senior Chi Ming, she's as weak as an ant. One palm. Just one palm. Senior Chi Ming is too strong. I knew it. Senior Chi Ming appeared and attacked. The powerless Moon Shadow Spirit King was casually killed. That's right, that's right. In the surroundings, the living beings of the various factions exclaimed repeatedly with incomparable reverence. Their voices were even very respectful as they bowed to Chi Ming. This way, So King Ian and Lu Qingjian will definitely transcend the karma tribulation. The Heaven Enlightenment sect will give birth to 2 Mahayana realm cultivators. Moreover, Senior Chi Ming has returned. The Heaven Enlightenment sect will become the #1 sect in the mystic world. That's right. The Heaven Enlightenment sect will truly rise and stand at the peak of the mystic world. Many living beings sighed. The God Race's Divine Incense sect welcomes Senior Chi Ming's return. The Devil Race's Heavenly Devil sect welcomes Senior Chi Ming's return. The Demon Court welcomes Senior Chi Ming's return. The Ghost Race's 9 Nether sect welcomes Senior Chi Ming's return. Spirit Race's 9 Mystical Spirit sect WEL welcomes Senior Chi Ming's return. The Human Race's Heaven Enlightenment sect welcomes Senior Chi Ming's return. The 6 races of the mystic world welcome Senior Chi Ming's return. At this moment, all the sects and factions of the 6 races in the entire mystic world appeared. They did not dare to continue hiding. Moreover, they bowed to Chi Ming and shouted in unison. Their voices were extremely respectful as they knelt and kowtowed. Back then, if not for Chi Ming taking action and settling the origin Immortal King, the entire mystic world would have been devoured by him, and all the living beings present would have died. He was their savior. Chapter 288, Ascension, Deo Resonance. Chi Ming's gaze swept across all the living beings present. Facing the praise of the 6 races of the mystic world, Chi Ming did not say anything and did not pay too much attention to it. He only nodded in response. He was not only the savior of all lives in the mystic world, but with his powerful strength, he was also enough to obtain the respect of the entire world in this world where the strong were respected. All of you can leave. Chi Ming said, go back where you came from. Yes. Yes. We'll follow Senior Chi Ming's instructions. The creatures of the various factions quickly replied and did not dare to say anything. Swoosh. Swoosh. Then, they quickly left because Chi Ming had already spoken. How could they dare to continue staying here? They naturally ran. They did not want to end up like the Moon Shadow Spirit King. In the blink of an eye, the surroundings became quiet. 7 days later, So King Ian and Lu Qingjian passed the karma tribulation one after another. The tribulation chi dissipated and the karma tribulation force dissipated. They sat cross-legged and began to recover themselves. They entered a deep seclusion. Not bad. Chi Ming nodded slightly. He was indeed happy for So King Ian and Lu Qingjian from the bottom of his heart. The 2 of them were able to transcend the karma tribulation and would definitely be able to reach the Mahayana realm. This was a good thing. Senior Chi Ming. This current sect master of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, Chi Ming, was not familiar. Although So King Ian was Yang Li's personal disciple, Yang Li was the supreme being of the spirit race, so King Ian was not qualified to be the sect master. Xiao Fan did not take in any disciples. The current sect master of the Heaven Enlightenment sect was selected from all the original Grand Elders. He was originally the Grand Elder of the Heaven Enlightenment sect and was called Daoist 9 Saint. Chi Ming sized up Daoist 9 Saint. In the surroundings, the Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect also came to bow. We did not know that Senior Chi Ming had returned and could not set up a banquet to welcome you. Senior Chi Ming, please forgive us. Senior Chi Ming, please enter the sect to rest. Daoist 9 Saint said respectfully. All right. Chi Ming nodded. Greetings, Senior Chi Ming. Deist 9 Saint shouted. Welcome back, Senior Chi Ming. Immediately after, the Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, the legacy disciples of the Heaven Enlightenment Immortal Mountain, the 12 peak masters of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, and the many elders and disciples shouted in unison. The commotion was huge. In the following period of time, Chi Ming returned to the Heaven Enlightenment sect to rest. The change in the Heaven Enlightenment sect was not small. The three ancestors, who were also Patriarch Heavenly 9, Patriarch Heaven Secrets, and Patriarch Black Yellow, had all ascended. In addition, Patriarch Heaven Secrets did not take the Heaven Secrets manor away because it existed with the 9 grotto heavens. Therefore, he could not take it away. Chi Ming stayed in the Heaven Secrets manor. The spirit of the Heaven Secrets manor, So Kimin, appeared. He bowed to Chi Ming, welcome back. Chi Ming nodded slightly. All around, the experts of the 9 grotto heavens also came out. They were the sect master of the Mystic Gate Grotto, the 9 palace master of the Hidden Armor Grotto Heaven, the 8 trigrams master of the 8 trigrams Grotto Heaven, and so on. Welcome back, Master! They shouted in unison. Chi Ming glanced at them. The cultivation levels of the experts in the 9 grotto heavens had also increased greatly. They were all tribulation eminences now. Where's Shangguan Wenj? So Kimin's eyes were a little envious as he said, Shangguan Wenj's cultivation level was originally at the Mahayana realm. Now that the heaven and earth have recovered, he has ascended to the upper world with Patriarch Heaven Secrets. I see. Chi Ming nodded slightly. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, another month later. On this day, 2 extremely powerful auras appeared and soared into the sky. They contained the power of the Mahayana realm. Lu Qingjian and So King Ian had broken through to the Mahayana realm at the same time. They consolidated their cultivation levels. In the surroundings, the Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect arrived, and the sect master, Deist 9 Saint, also arrived. I've already reached the Mahayana realm. So King Ian opened her eyes. In her beauty, light flowed, and her aura had already undergone a tremendous change. The innocence and youth of the past could no longer be seen on her body. Now, So King Ian had already become a big shot. From today onwards. So King Ian took a deep breath. Her gaze was cold as she looked down at the world. Her aura was dignified as she shouted, I am Patriarch Creation Wood. Yes. We congratulate Patriarch Creation Wood. The Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect shouted in unison. Ha ha ha. Chi Ming walked over and laughed, Patriarch Creation Wood? The title you gave yourself is too old-fashioned. It doesn't match your temperament at all. You're making me laugh. Who? So King Ian frowned and shouted. It's me. Chi Ming appeared in front of So King Ian. Senior Chi. So King Ian's beautiful eyes widened and she was extremely happy. She rushed towards Chi Ming like a little girl and rushed into his arms to hug him. You're back. Chi Ming smiled and reached out to stroke So King Ian's hair. It's been so many years. You've grown a lot. You've already become the ancestor of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. No. So King Ian returned to her senses and raised her head slightly, her face slightly red. Cough cough. On the other side, Lu Qingjian also came over. She also consolidated her cultivation and coughed. So King Ian reacted and immediately let go of Chi Ming's arms. Senior sister. Chi Ming smiled. Congratulations, senior sister. Your cultivation has improved greatly and you have reached the Mahayana realm. Junior brother, you're back. Lu Qingjian's beautiful face was also filled with a smile. She was indeed very happy. Moreover, after so many years, she had already recovered her past memories. Chi Ming nodded. I'm back. However, I can't stay for long. After all, I've stayed in the mystic world for more than 2,000 years. It's time for me to ascend to the upper world. So fast. So King Ian said reluctantly. Lu Qingjian was silent. In the surroundings, the Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect did not dare to say anything. Time passed quickly. 3 days later. Chi Ming no longer had anything left to do in the mystic world. He had already done what he needed to do and completed what he needed to do. On this day, at noon. It's time. Chi Ming walked out of the Heaven Secrets Manor. He left Black Lotus behind and let her preside over the Heaven Enlightenment sect. With the lifespan of the Corpse Chief Supreme Being, she could exist for 1,000,000 years and protect the Heaven Enlightenment sect from collapsing for 1,000,000 years. This was because Black Lotus was only a corpse chief and not a spirit pet. The Mahayana realm was already her limit and could barely continue to advance. Therefore, Chi Ming gave up on her. There was also the Blood Fiend Ghost King, Little Snow, who also stayed behind. Apart from that, Chi Ming took out many materials, resources, and items from his inventory. These things were not high in grade. Even if he brought them to the upper world, they would not be of much use. It was better to stay in the Heaven Enlightenment sect. Of course, Huo Chongqing and the others were originally at the Mahayana realm. They were the same as Chi Ming and had stayed in the mystic world for more than 2,000 years. It was also time to ascend. Chi Ming planned to bring them to the upper world. That is, Senior Chi Ming. It's Senior Chi Ming. Hee. Senior Chi Ming is about to ascend. Senior Chi Ming is about to ascend. This. In the surroundings, the Heaven Enlightenment sect was shocked. Everyone in the sect came. They raised their heads and looked up at Chi Ming with respectful expressions and excitement. At the same time, the entire 6 races of the mystic world, the various sects, and factions all received the news. The mood of the 6 sects and factions was quite complicated. Chi Ming had saved the entire world and was indeed their savior. However, he was really too powerful to an unbelievable level. As long as Chi Ming was in the mystic world, the entire 6 races of the mystic world would feel that there was an incomparably terrifying existence above their heads pressing down on them, making them unable to breathe. They did not dare to speak loudly or cross the rules. They did not dare to do many things and were afraid of being careless and offending Chi Ming. Now, Chi Ming was ascending to the upper world and was about to leave the mystic world. Then, the terrifying existence above their heads would disappear. The shackles would also disappear, allowing the 6 races of the mystic world to relax. Senior brother. So King Ian appeared and stared at Chi Ming's back. Junior brother. Lu Qingjian looked at him calmly. Chi Ming nodded at them. I'll go first. Ha ha ha. Then, Chi Ming roared with laughter. He did not feel any pressure, nor did he have any shackles, nor did he have any regrets. He had spent thousands of years in the lower realm and experienced many things. Towards everything that he did, he had a clear conscience. What he did followed his heart from start to end. As a transmigrator, I came here to search for longevity. The chaos created the great Dao. Today, I knocked on the Immortal's gate. Chi Ming walked towards the sky step by step. Chaos mist spread around his body as the Chaos Great Dao scripture circulated. At this moment, with Chi Ming as the center, all kinds of phenomena appeared. In the sky, the door of Ascension had already appeared and opened. Chi Ming looked over but could not see what was inside. Chi Ming walked firmly towards the door of Ascension. Then, the heaven and earth phenomenon appeared. Clang! 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 First, the sword cry resounded in the sky. Countless green sword lights transformed into Great Dao sword intent and gathered, condensing into a green chaos sword lotus. This is... Suddenly, behind the door of Ascension, another cry of surprise sounded, such talent in the sword Dao. Gasp! This child can become a legacy disciple of the heavenly sword sect after he ascends. The phenomenon created by Chi Ming was only the beginning. The next moment, it was a dazzling golden sun that shot into the sky. It hung high in the sky and contained the power of the heaven and earth Great Dao. This was the power phenomenon of the Golden Core Great Dao. It shook heaven and earth. The mystic world was trembling. Chapter 289, Great Dao Phenomena, Immortal Ascension Passage. Ha ha ha! This child can ascend and enter the Great Sun sect. He can become a legacy disciple of the Great Sun sect. Unbelievable! How many years has it been? No one with such aptitude has ascended from the lower realm. After the second heaven and earth phenomenon appeared, in the door of ascension, it was no longer just one voice, but many voices. Moreover, these voices were filled with surprise. This. As expected of Senior Chi Ming. Back then, when the spirit race's supreme being, Yang Li, ascended, he only attracted a voice from behind the door of ascension. This time, Senior Chi Ming's ascension attracted so many voices. They're on completely different levels. Senior Chi Ming is really too strong, too strong. We can't use words to describe Senior Chi Ming's strength. In the mystic world, the Mahayana realm experts of the various races and many existences at the Tribulation Transcendence realm raised their heads and stared at the scene of Chi Ming's ascension. They heard the voice from the door of ascension. The entire world was shocked. After the Great Dao Golden Core phenomenon appeared, the commotion caused by Chi Ming's ascension was actually only the beginning. An even more magnificent phenomenon appeared. The Dao that can be told is not the eternal Dao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Dao begets one, one begets two, two begets three, and three begets all things. A truly good man is not aware of his goodness, and is therefore good. A foolish man tries to be good, and is therefore not good. At this moment, in the entire mystic world, somehow, the true intent of the heaven and earth Great Dao circulated and gathered. 3 avatars appeared. This was a manifestation of the heaven and earth Great Dao. They were the 3 pure ones. Jade Pure, Supreme Pure, Grand Pure. The 3 pure ones chanted the true meaning of the Dao scripture. Countless Dao talismans surged as if flowers were falling from the sky. The Dao scripture that they chanted resounded in the world. Vaguely, it was also transmitted to the upper world through the door of ascension. This is. Gasp. This child. How is this possible? How is this possible? Unbelievable, too unbelievable. I'm afraid our sects aren't qualified to take in this child. Too shocking. He hasn't become immortal and is only at the Mahayana realm. He actually caused such a phenomenon. Shocking. In the door of ascension, the immortals of the upper world were extremely shocked. The phenomenon caused by Chi Ming's ascension was too unbelievable. Ha ha ha! This child can ascend and enter the Dao sect to cultivate. At this moment, a voice sounded from the door of ascension. This voice was very loud and clear, and it entered Chi Ming's ears. It made the other immortals in the upper world shut their mouths. Dao sect. Chi Ming pondered. The phenomenon created by Chi Ming had not stopped. It was still evolving. Behind the 3 pure ones, a chaotic world appeared. Chaos fog spread. Crack. Crack. Then, in this chaos world, a huge chaos egg appeared. The chaos egg cracked and transformed into Great God Pangu. He held the chaos giant axe and stepped on the chaos green lotus to split the heavens and earth in the chaos. This was not the first time such a phenomenon had appeared. This time, it was even larger, more real and lifelike, as if it was real. This was because it caused the Great Dao of heaven and earth to resonate, and then it transformed into a Great Dao phenomenon. This is chaos. Could this child be related to the chaos sect? From the door of ascension, another voice sounded. It was filled with shock and confusion. Boom! 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 The next moment, the Chaos Sword Lotus phenomenon shattered and scattered into light spots that filled the sky. They transformed into starlight and fused into the Chaos True Body phenomenon. The Sword Dao phenomenon has disappeared. It was directly crushed and devoured. Impressive! In the door of Ascension, several immortals could not help but exclaim. Not long after, the golden core Great Dao phenomenon was also collapsing, turning into golden light spots that filled the sky. They were like dazzling golden galaxies that fused into the Chaos True Avatar. Immediately after, the Three Pure Ones phenomenon changed. The Dao scripture truths flashed as they transformed into three streaks of light that entered the Chaos True Body phenomenon. At this moment, the phenomenon that Chi Ming transformed into fused completely. The great Dao of heaven and earth resonated. Chi Ming could truly sense the grandeur and vastness of the great Dao of heaven and earth. Chi Ming had only comprehended the superficial level of the heaven and earth great Dao. He was still a few centuries away from truly mastering it. He was far from reaching success. Finally, all the phenomena fused into one. Only a chaos true body was left. It had the same appearance as Chi Ming and the true intent of the heaven and earth great Dao. It flowed continuously. This is the chaos sacred body. The immortal from the Dao sect was very surprised. I didn't expect that the chaos sacred body would actually appear in this lower realm. Chaos sacred body. This. No way, it's actually the chaos sacred body. This child is actually the chaos sacred body. Impressive. The chaos sect is not from our first upper world. It's from the ninth upper world. Moreover, I heard that the traces of the chaos sect have disappeared for many years. I wonder if it still exists. The chaos sacred body is not easy to cultivate in the upper world. The chaos sacred body is called the strongest physique in the lower realm. As long as it reaches the perfection realm, even if it's not an immortal, it's enough to resist a perfected immortal. However, it's not easy to continue improving the physique. The immortals of the upper world discussed. First upper world, ninth upper world. Isn't it just one upper world? This is too shocking. I didn't expect to hear such secrets today. This is because of Senior Chi Ming, so we were fortunate enough to hear and know. This matter must be recorded and passed down forever. What's the situation in the upper world? What's the difference between the first upper world and ninth upper world? Also, from the conversation of the immortals in the upper world, it can be determined that there are sects in the upper world. Therefore, in the upper world, immortals are also divided into factions by sects. How big is the upper world? What's the realm above immortals? What's the difference in realm in the upper world? In the mystic world, all kinds of questions appeared in the hearts of the six races. Through the conversation of the immortals in the upper world, the lives of the mystic world learned some information, but it attracted more questions. Chi Ming smiled. He had heard the conversation of the immortals of the upper world. Although he had many thoughts, he did not show them. In the upper world, cultivating the great Dao was only a kind of supreme taboo. Basically, no immortal could come into contact with it. When Chi Ming ascended, he clearly caused the great Dao to resonate, but he was not discovered or sensed. Gradually, the great Dao phenomenon disappeared. The chaos true body slowly disappeared. The mystic world returned to peace. Chi Ming restrained his aura. His steps were very firm as he walked into the door of Ascension. Under the gazes of the mystic world's people, the door of Ascension slowly closed. At this moment, the world fell silent. All the phenomena dissipated, and the heaven and earth great Dao returned to normal. It no longer resonated. All kinds of great Dao true intents disappeared into thin air, as if they had never appeared. All living beings of the six races of the mystic world congratulate Senior Chi Ming for ascending to the upper world. Congratulations Senior Chi Ming for ascending to the upper world. Everyone in the mystic world bowed to Chi Ming and shouted in unison with respectful voices. Senior brother. So King Ian took a deep breath and calmed her mood. She was a little reluctant, but she was more interested in the upper world. I'll soon ascend to the upper world. Junior brother. Lu Qingjian muttered softly, I will soon follow in your footsteps and ascend to the upper world to see an even wider world. The scene changed. In the door of ascension, after Chi Ming stepped in, he had already entered the Immortal Ascension Passage. In this Immortal Ascension Passage, Chi Ming felt the power of the upper world. Somehow, Chi Ming sensed a heavenly Dao consciousness of the upper world. In the Ascension Passage, it was filled with the immortal Chi of the upper world. In this immortal Chi, it also contained the laws and rules of the upper world, emitting an incomparable pressure. Powerful. It was extremely powerful. In the lower realm, be it the mystic world, the cultivation world, the strange world, or the great desolate world, these lower realm world consciousnesses were basically the embryonic form of the heavenly Dao. The upper world was different. The heavenly Dao consciousness of the upper world was completely a complete heavenly Dao. It was perfect, flawless, and impeccable. There was no comparison between the two sides. The difference was too great. Chi Ming now needed to absorb the immortal Chi of the upper world from the Ascension Passage and use the laws and rules contained in it to complete a baptism of the upper world. At that time, Chi Ming could completely lose his mortal body and become a true immortal. This was for the other ascenders. The upper world immortal Chi of the Ascension Passage was useless to Chi Ming. Even if he absorbed the laws and rules contained in it, it would not increase his realm at all. Chi Ming cultivated the great Dao. His entire body contained the great Dao of heaven and earth. Forget about the heaven and earth laws and the heaven and earth rules, even the heaven and earth heavenly Dao could not allow Chi Ming to break through. If Chi Ming wanted to increase his realm, he had to comprehend the great Dao of heaven and earth to complete his breakthrough and transformation. Of course, if Chi Ming abandoned the great Dao of cultivation and forcefully lowered his cultivation path, he could indeed absorb these upper world immortal Chi to transform. Forget it. Chi Ming shook his head. Since I can't transform, let my spirit pets absorb these upper world immortal Chi that contain the heaven and earth laws and the heaven and earth rules to complete the transformation. Chapter 290, Competition. Chi Ming naturally would not lower his cultivation path. He would just be wasting his potential. Come out. With a thought, light flashed. 6 figures immediately flew out in front of him. They were Huo Chongqing, Death God, Little Bat, Little Yin, Black Flame, and Little Calamity. Master, this is Huo Chongqing looked around with a surprised expression. The surroundings. I sense the heaven and earth laws and the heaven and earth rules. This. The Death God, Black Flame, and the others exclaimed. This is the Ascension Passageway. Chi Ming said, the surrounding is all immortal Chi from the upper world. The strength and quality of the immortal Chi naturally far exceeds the spiritual Chi of the lower realm. Moreover, these upper world immortal Chi contain the heaven and earth laws and the heaven and earth rules. Quickly absorb them. At that time, quickly enter the realm of the immortals. Yes. Yes. Huo Chongqing and the others replied. Chi Ming's 6 spirit pets quickly sat cross-legged. They circulated their cultivation methods and absorbed the surrounding upper world immortal Chi. Luster surged around their bodies as the upper world immortal Chi quickly surged into their bodies, causing various changes to happen to Huo Chongqing and the others. This was a transformation that could elevate a living being's very existence. At this moment, Chi Ming had the time to size up the situation of the Ascension Passageway. His surroundings were filled with the immortal Chi of the upper world, and there were various strange and dazzling scenes around him. They contained the secrets and essence of space and time, and Chi Ming could comprehend and understand them. Observing carefully, outside the Ascension Passageway, there was a dazzling light that was as beautiful as the starry sky. Chi Ming was drawn by an invisible force and walked towards the end of the passageway. Time passed. Not long after, Chi Ming felt a change. A supreme pressure appeared out of thin air. This was the pressure from the upper world and also the pressure of the upper world consciousness. He was already about to reach the end of the Ascension Passageway and enter the upper world. At the same time, Huo Chongqing, Black Flame, Little Yin, Death God, Little Bat, Little Calamity, and Chi Ming's 6 spirit pets broke through their cultivation one after another, and their auras rose greatly. Ding! Congratulations, host! Because your ordinary immortal pet, the Void True Dragon, has absorbed a large amount of the upper world immortal chi that contains the heaven and earth laws and heaven and earth rules, it has completed the transformation. It has grasped the space laws and the extreme yang laws and stepped onto the path of cultivating the laws. Its cultivation level has increased to the early stage immortal realm. Ding! Congratulations, host! Due to absorbing a large amount of upper world immortal chi that contains the heaven and earth laws and heaven and earth rules, your rare spirit pet, the extreme yin queen, has completed the transformation. It has grasped the extreme yin laws and stepped onto the path of cultivating the laws. Moreover, it has gone from a rare spirit pet, the extreme yin queen, to an ordinary immortal pet, the extreme yin fairy. Its cultivation level has increased to the early stage immortal realm. Ding! Congratulations, host! Your rare spirit pet, Lord of Calamity, has completed its transformation after absorbing a large amount of upper world immortal chi that contains the heaven and earth laws and heaven and earth rules. It has grasped the calamity laws and stepped onto the path of cultivating the laws. Moreover, it has advanced from the rare spirit pet, Lord of Calamity, to an ordinary immortal pet, Immortal Realm Calamity Beast. Its cultivation level has increased to the early stage immortal realm. Ding! Congratulations, host! Because your rare spirit pet, the Taiji Bat King, has absorbed a large amount of the upper world immortal chi that contains the heaven and earth laws and heaven and earth rules, it has completed the transformation. It has grasped the Taiji laws and stepped onto the path of cultivating the laws. Moreover, it has advanced from the rare spirit pet, the Taiji Bat King, to an ordinary immortal pet, the Taiji Immortal Bat. Its cultivation level has increased to the early stage immortal realm. Ding! Congratulations, host! Because your rare spirit pet, the ultimate death god, has absorbed a large amount of upper world immortal chi that contains the heaven and earth laws and heaven and earth rules, it has completed the transformation and grasped the death laws and stepped onto the path of cultivating the laws. Moreover, it has advanced from the rare spirit pet, the ultimate death god, to an ordinary immortal pet, the death immortal spirit. Its cultivation level has increased to the early stage immortal realm. Ding! Congratulations, host! Because your rare spirit pet, Shu Mountain's Limitless Sword Saint, has absorbed a large amount of upper world immortal chi that contains the heaven and earth laws and heaven and earth rules, he has completed the transformation. He has grasped the Sword Dao laws, the Taiji laws, and the Yin-Yang laws. He has stepped onto the path of cultivating the laws. Moreover, he has gone from a rare spirit pet, Shu Mountain's Limitless Sword Saint, to an ordinary immortal pet, Shu Mountain Sword Immortal. His cultivation level has increased to the early stage immortal realm. All in all, Chi Ming received 6 notifications. Black Flame had increased its cultivation and realm to the early stage immortal realm. As for Death God, Little Calamity, Huo Chongqing, Little Yin, and Little Bat, the 5 of them had not only broken through to the early stage immortal realm, but they had also advanced from rare spirit pets to ordinary immortal pets. There was a huge change. The 6 spirit pets' strengths had clearly increased. We all broke through. We've all reached the early stage immortal realm. Huo Chongqing and the others reported to Chi Ming. Chi Ming nodded in satisfaction and said, "All of you can return to the spirit pet slot first." Yes. Yes. Huo Chongqing and the others replied. White light flashed. Chi Ming's 6 spirit pets disappeared, turning into 6 streaks of light that disappeared into thin air. They returned to the spirit pet slot. At this moment, Chi Ming arrived at the end of the Ascension passageway. Here, Chi Ming looked over. He was currently in an empty space. In the center of this empty space, what greeted Chi Ming's eyes was a vast square hall. It was more like a huge stage. On a closer look, there was a plaque hanging on it. It wrote, "Receiving platform." Receiving platform. Chi Ming pondered. In this rather huge and vast square hall, there were many figures standing. Every single one of them had an unfathomable aura and ethereal immortal chi. They were true immortals of the upper world. Chi Ming soared into the sky and arrived at the receiving platform. As the name implied, it was the place to welcome those who ascended from the lower realm. In this place, there would be immortals from the upper realm guarding it. They would guide those who ascended from the lower realm into the upper realm and rope in the factions and sects who ascended from the lower realm to join the upper world. Now, when Chi Ming ascended, the commotion he caused was too great, attracting various vast heaven and earth phenomena. Therefore, it attracted the attention of many factions in the upper world. These factions and sects sent their immortals and perfected immortals to the receiving platform to rope Chi Ming into their faction and sect. In addition, the mystic world that Chi Ming belonged to was under the jurisdiction of the first upper world. Therefore, all the ascenders of the mystic world would ascend and enter the first upper world. Ha ha ha! Chi Ming had just arrived at the receiving platform when he heard a forthright laugh. He looked over and saw a rough-faced young man walking over. He wore a green robe and carried a black broadsword. "I'll introduce myself first." The young man smiled and said, "You can call me Chen Jian. I'm an inner sect disciple of the Heavenly Sword sect in the first upper world, the 9 provinces domain. The Heavenly Sword sect can be considered one of the top sects in the 9 provinces domain. If you join the Heavenly Sword sect, I can guarantee that you will definitely become a legacy disciple of the Heavenly Sword sect and have a chance to become an upper world immortal king in the future. How is it?" The young man who called himself Chen Jian smiled, "As long as you join the Heavenly Sword sect, I guarantee that we won't mistreat you. I'll try my best to satisfy you in terms of cultivation resources." This Chi Ming pondered for a moment. "Senior Chen Jian, I've just ascended from the lower realm and am not familiar with the upper world. Could it be that in the upper world, it's the same as in the lower realm? Are sects divided into factions?" Chen Jian nodded slightly and returned to Chi Ming's question, "I'm not too sure about the other places. In the first upper world, in the 9 provinces domain, most of the various factions are divided by sections. Of course, there are also various powerful races that have established other factions. Thank you for your guidance, Senior." Chi Ming bowed. "You're welcome." Chen Jian said, "How about it? Do you want to join the Heavenly Sword sect? There's one more thing you need to know. As long as they can send disciples to the receiving platform, basically all these factions and sects will have an immortal king of the upper world guarding them. There are even more than one. You have to know that the upper world immortal king realm is already at the peak of the immortal realm." Peak of the immortal realm? Chi Ming pondered again. What's the Heavenly Sword sect? The disciples of the other sects walked over one after another. They extended their invitation to Chi Ming, wanting to rope him in and let him join their sect and faction. "Chi Ming, with your potential, joining the Heavenly Sword sect is completely a waste of your talent. You should join our Great Sun sect." "Is the Great Sun sect very awesome?" 10,000 years ago, your Great Sun Immortal King lost to our Misty Sect's Immortal King, the Misty Immortal King. Chi Ming, you should join our Misty sect. You should join our 9 Extreme sect." In the surroundings, the disciples of the various sects in the upper world said. They already knew some information about Chi Ming. At this moment, a figure floated down with an extraordinary aura. He was clearly much stronger than the surrounding immortals. Chen Jian and the others quickly opened a path and lowered their heads to show their respect. "You actually haven't reached the immortal realm." This figure was dressed in white. His long hair was tied up and fell behind him. He had a sharp face and was quite handsome. He had his hands behind his back and sized up Chi Ming a few times. He frowned and said in a surprised tone, "How can this be? I clearly sensed a very strong nomological fluctuation in the ascension passageway just now. You should have absorbed a lot of upper world immortal chi. You shouldn't have failed to break through to the immortal realm.